to downtown Tulsa as we get set for tonight's match in USL between the Tulsa Roughnecks and the Real Monarchs SLC. There's the vision of the beautiful downtown skyline for the city of Tulsa. 87 degrees on this Saturday evening on July 1st as we have flipped the calendar over to another month, heading into the deep heart of the summer here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders as we get set for tonight's match with Tulsa and the Real Monarchs. Tulsa coming in with 15 total points, 5 and 8, with 0 draws on the season, coming off their 2-1 loss here on Tuesday night to the Swope Park Rangers at ONEOK Field, in which Colin Fernandez got his first ever professional goal with the Tulsa Roughnecks. Real Monarchs SLC, 12-1-1, 37 points, and they drew for the first time this season, and they were held to a 1-1 draw on the road by Phoenix Rising FC. The draw brought to an end Real's USL record 9-game winning streak. But even though they had the draw, the loss by San Antonio FC saw the Monarchs extend their lead to 3 points at the top of the Western Conference. Dave Saunders, beautiful night for a little action here at ONEOK Field this evening, and I know that there are 19 games left in the season, but you get the sense like this is a huge opportunity for the Roughnecks here tonight against the team that's in the top of the table in the Western Conference.
Yeah, good evening, Pop. Good evening, everybody. You're absolutely right. An opportunity in capital letters, I would say, here, because there is no better sight for the Roughnecks than playing at home against the league leaders. And, you know, they come in impressive form, Pop, don't they? The Roughnecks, you know, struggling of late for points, not because they haven't been playing well. They've been playing well. A couple of changes to the lineup, which Pop will tell you about as we go through the broadcast. But a real opportunity on a beautiful night here. Bring it on. Can't wait for kickoff. I
think as impressive as what 12-1-1 is, the thing that jumps out to me about the Monarchs, 5-1-1, their record away from Rio Tinto, as the June 3rd 1-0 win at Orange County was the club's 7th consecutive victory in the recent 9-game streak. Man, it has been a really impressive performance from the Monarchs so far this season. A team that when this league first, or at least when the Roughnecks first joined in 2015, the Monarchs were always that team that was near the bottom of the table, really started to pick up momentum there towards the end of the last couple of seasons, and as a result, here they are now. We're getting ready to send you to commercial break as we get set for the national anthem here at ONEOK Field and the starting lineups. And when we come back for you, we'll be set for kickoff between the Roughnecks and the Real Monarchs SLC. Roughnecks 15 points, and the away team tonight, Real Monarchs, with 37 total points. We'll be back after this. This is Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
It's summertime, Drillville. Time to work on that tan. Make sure you have the coolest beach towel there is around this summer. Head to ONEOK Field on July 6th, where the first 1,000 fans will receive this one-of-a-kind Los Angeles Dodgers beach towel. Brought to you by Fox 23 and 103.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
It's summertime, Drillville. Time to work on that tan. Make sure you have the coolest beach towel there is around this summer. Head to ONEOK Field on July 6th, where the first 1,000 fans will receive this one-of-a-kind Los Angeles Dodgers beach towel. Brought to you by Fox 23 and 103.
Support the return of professional soccer to the city of Tulsa. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you tonight as we get set for the Roughnecks and the leaders at the top of the table in the West, the Real Monarchs SLC, with a huge opportunity tonight in the wings for Tulsa. Well, Dave, it's amazing how different the Roughnecks team is compared to last season and how much better that both of us feel like they are. And I think a clear example of that is you see Mark Briggs, the head coach of the Monarchs, is the style of play and the fact that even in this amount of games that Tulsa is on in which they have not been able to have 3 points in the win column, you still feel like that they've outplayed the other teams and that they've been able to enforce their will on them. They just haven't been able to score, but yet we were looking at the stats before the game tonight, and there's Tulsa, third from the bottom as far as goal differential in the league. This team has to find a way to be able to score and score consistently. Outside of scoring, this team has everything in place to be one of the top teams in the West.
I agree with you. I love the formation. It's a 4-2-3-1, which Dave Wildren has rigidly stuck to. Kaffa pulls all the strings, playing in the number 10 shirt and in the number 10 position. I think they've got a fantastic goalkeeper. We'll talk more about Fabian Soder as the broadcast goes on. They've had a settled back four. Big night for Ian Swantassen. There's a lot of pressure on his young shoulders, being the lone striker. Can he go up against Pay and Schuler, the two centre-backs for the Real Monarchs, and get on the score sheet? I would love him to get some opportunity where he gets a real sight at goal. I didn't feel he had that the other night, so a big night for him. Big night as well for Bradley Bouchoir, because he pushes back to centre-back because there's no Ugarte, who's suspended for one game. So a big night tonight for Bouchoir and Jadama. But, coming back to your point, yeah, they've been in every single game. They play well, they knock the ball around, they dominate possession. But can they stop giving away soft goals, in the words of the coach? And can they put the ball in the back of the net against the league leaders? What a big night, Pop. I'm excited. And, as a professional footballer, you want nights like this. So come on, Roughnecks, let's see what you can do.
Here's a look at Adams. Charlie Adams, the midfielder who has 1 goal, 5 assists in 10 games played so far this season, and we are underway. Official weather forecast for tonight's match provided by the News on 6 meteorologist Travis Meyer. The temperature at kickoff is 87 degrees. A bit humid on the playing surface, but an absolutely beautiful evening for soccer here in Tulsa. There's the officials for tonight. Marco Vega, along with Shane Kennard and Brandon Gardner. The fourth tonight is Truman Berghall. And a foul here early in the center circle. Yeah. You see Kaffa, 13 appearances, 12 starts, has played over 1,086 minutes coming in, as 4 goals and 3 assists. He has been the engine to this offense for the Roughnecks here in 2017. Low line driven ball. directly through the center of the arc. Settled by Fernandez. Nice touch to the outside. Finds his Chicago Fire brother in Joey Calistri. Nice collection there, and a ball played from Fernandez on the ground.
And there you see a wonderful move from the Roughnecks. What are we haven't played 2 minutes yet. Wonderful move, everybody involved, Fernandez, Calistri, you know, and I think the Monarchs are going to be a little bit surprised by the Roughnecks here tonight. They're coming in, lost their last 3, but they know how to play this game and they're knocking it around. Good confident start.
Fernandez, square ball from the left foot, knocked down, and here's Real Monarchs SLC with their first bit of possession here in the going. Starts with Aber.
Of course, the two changes pop are that Bouchoir, as I've alluded to, goes back again alongside Jadama at the heart of the defence. And welcome to Ja'Cory Hayes, who Pop will tell you more about. But he's alongside Fernandez in the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Hayes, we'll get to him in a moment, because probing here into the offensive third are the Real Monarchs SLC. The ball that goes across the box, an opportunity to be settled there from Hoffman, unable to do anything with it. And then Calistri knocks down the intended ball. And here's Hernandez. Curling cross with a header that's met there, no trouble whatsoever from Serta. And you see there the combination of passing from Real Monarchs SLC here in the early going.
Yeah, they play a 4. Well, we'll just see if Swan Tussin can't get on the end of that. Easy for the goalkeeper, Fernandez. They play a 4-4-1-1, and you've got Hernandez, the number 29 there, who stood inside the centre circle. He plays directly behind Hoffman. Hoffman with 8 goals. So it's a 4-4-1-1.
Ja'Cory Hayes on loan from FC Dallas, as you see the challenge there from Kosuke. On loan from FC Dallas. Spent some time with the Timbers under 23s, also the PDL side for DC United. FC Dallas drafted in the first round of the 2017 MLS Super Draft from Wake Forest. 84 appearances, 15 goals. You see the foul here directly at midfield. Ian reached in, unable to get a piece of it, and then came back through with the clip from behind, and that results in Charlie Adams standing over this ball. You see the deep shadows there from ONEOK Field. Serta has to deal with the sun here in the first half. Jadama heads outside the box, settled there to the 18. Still on the foot, nice turn back and a sliding ball across the front of the box. And Fabian Serta with a nice little kick slide save there to knock it free, at least to deny that ball across the mouth of the goal.
Yep, Serta, it doesn't matter whether it's your feet or your hands, but keeps it out well, and that's a loose ball going through. But you can already see the impressive league leaders here. That was a good build-up down the right, but something that you saw, I think, there, Pop, as we look at the replay, with the bodies of the Roughnecks really throwing themselves in. There's Serta with the kick save, and there's Bouchoir to make the clearance, but they're certainly putting their bodies in the way of that defence. They don't want to give away soft goals. I'm sure Dave Vaudreuil has talked to them about that since the last game.
Yeah, Hernandez has made his presence felt here in the early going for the visitors. Down the left-hand side, cuts back to the inside. Nice ball there on the ground, played in, and it was a well-received ball, but just unable to do anything with it was Hoffman, and he's averaging a goal every 146 minutes is Chandler Hoffman.
Yeah, lively play, good play from Haber down the left-hand side there, the number 46. Good low ball in, and Hoffman made the run towards the near post, but went side netting. Good build-up, though, from the visitors.
Here's Hernandez, able to get past Colin Fernandez. Hernandez now, oh, nice slide on the tackle through from Mo Jadama to stop the initial penetration.
Jadama was my man of the match on Tuesday night. Real rock at the heart of the defence. A bit sorry that he was on the losing side, but he's got Bradley Bourgeois alongside him today, so good test to see how those two get on.
Speaking of Bourgeois, square ball finds Chidama. There to Fernandez. Juan Pablo Caffa from the touchline. Working there with George Corrales. Throw in now for Tulsa. Ball from G. Finds Calistri. Calistri with that right foot. Oh, a little give and go there from Fernandez, but the flag is up here on the near side. Well done. Just unlucky there are the Roughnecks.
Yeah, offside there. Good play down the left. Calistri started the game on the right. He's gone on the left. Here he is. On the feeds a little ball in there. Gets it back from Hayes. But unfortunately, offside flag goes up. But good signs for the Roughnecks.
Well, and exactly what Coach Vaught talks about. He wants numbers in the box when they go forward. That's something that they've done a relatively good job of through the large portion of the season. They just have had horrible luck in finding someone to be able to finish consistently here over this last 3-game stretch.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Big night here for Swantassen. That's a little bit overhit. Will Rivas get on the end of it?
Rivas might get there in time. He does. Rivas cuts it back, but in position is Fernandez. That was going to be a difficult ball there for Rivas to do anything with. But a good look there from midfield on the run from Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin Rivas there. He did me for pace in there. I didn't think he was going to get on the end of that, but
we'll
good
never
sprint.
doubt Joaquin again.
No, definitely not. Good shot as well across goal, but good save from the keeper.
Good turn from Corrales.
But I know this counts for nothing, Pop, and I'm going to say it anyway. If you were just walking in through the turnstile now into this game and you didn't know which team was top of the league, you know, you couldn't pick them because this game is very, very even at the moment. Obviously, we respect the Real Monarchs. They've had a great season so far, but the Roughnecks have had a good start in this first 9 minutes.
There's Calistri that's chopped down. That comes from Taylor Pay.
Little talking to for Mr. Pay here, but this is Caffa territory, Pop. It's a little bit left of centre. Caffa would love to be a little bit more central here, but what is it? It's not even 25 yards out, so it'd be interesting to see what the great man does here. Pay is the Salt Lake City native and veteran MLS center back. Graduate of Brighton High School in Salt Lake City. University of Washington, selected 26 overall in the 2014 MLS Super Draft by Portland. When they signed him, they were just looking for that balance. Someone that has MLS experience. He's not the only native that they have on the roster. They have 4 players that went to high school in Utah. Kaffa's ball hit directly at Fernandez, and you saw the hand go up in the air immediately as soon as Juan hit that ball and knew that he would like to have that one over again. But 2 things I would say about that. Number one, you know, it was a difficult position. Does he sort of go for goal, or does he clip one into, you know, and I think in the end he went for the slightly harder option there. But the other thing, I liked it. He ran all the way back straight away as an offside comes in against the Roughnecks. Pop, he ran all the way back to the left back spot because he knew he didn't want his team to be caught on the break. So well done. And first effort on goal, but an easy one again for keeper Fernandez to save. That's where Tulsa has been in that sequence that we just saw, where they were so good at the beginning of the season. Because in those giveaways, in those moments where they were able to go in transition quickly, we saw them score early in the season. They haven't had that many opportunities over the last month or so that we saw early in the season. No, you're absolutely right. And if they get an opportunity tonight, you must take it against league leaders. You can't do any misses and all that, we were so unlucky. No, if we get an opportunity tonight against these boys, you've got to take it, and there's going to be an opportunity for someone in an orange shirt tonight.
You flashed up the graphic there of Ja'Cory Hayes. Ja'Cory Hayes was on a high school team out of the D.C. area that ended up, I believe he said in the article that I read, that every starter on that team ended up signing D1 or D2 to play college soccer. A lot of them are playing professionally now. There's a hard tackle from behind on Rivas. But that team went on a 62-game unbeaten match that Ja'Cory Hayes was on in high school.
That's amazing, and well coached as well. But I'm sure the coach thought, I couldn't believe he's up with all those great players, and it's good to have Hayes here, and here he is right on the ball.
Yeah, there's another giveaway, and the effort there from Ian that helped make that happen. Kafa, Corrales will elect to pull back here, give himself a little bit of space, step over as Calistri on the touchline.
Corrales just offside there. I'm pleased to see him in the team tonight, Pop, because he kind of limped off with some kind of leg strain, didn't he, on Tuesday night?
Well, and Corrales is one of the team leaders in crosses so far this season. Had 4 or 5 on Tuesday night that we saw. During the coaches show on Thursday, cheap plug for the Pop and Vod show, which you can find on iTunes. Coach Vod said that they maybe wanted to adjust a little bit of their tactics and how they were playing, because it's nice to get crosses off, but if you are not finishing them, wanted them to go a little bit more direct and play through the center of the pitch. Thought that they did that a little bit more in the second half, and I wonder if we will see a tad bit more of that same tactic coming up this evening.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a few more in the box. It just reminds me of the game. Well done to the USA beating Ghana 2-1 today. That first goal by Dwyer was, 3 guys in the box, and they all took a bit of a chance. Yeah, okay, it came to him a little bit lucky off another player, but here's the ball into the box.
Oh, and the brilliant save there from Fabian Serta.
Well, that is a brilliant save. I mean, we'll look at it again. It was at him, but it was a reaction save because it was an unchallenged header. It was a perfect cross into the box here from Charlie Adam here. Look at that for a left-footed ball. Look, you can't want for anything better than that, Mr. Hoffman. And he'd rather hit it straight at the keeper, but credit the keeper there, Pop.
Well, and Hoffman, too. There you see 30 chances created. That's 5th most in the USL. That is a nightmare scenario for Dave Vaudreuil to see Hoffman all alone there on the back post. Now, the reason why I will say that's a brilliant save from Serta, not only with a quick reaction, he's having to deal with the sun that's in his eyes as well.
We talked about that, didn't we, during the week? That's a great punt down the field as well, but he's offside again. Calistri just gone a yard early. Kafa doesn't like it. But,
neither does Calistri.
No, I must admit, it's when the ball's played, but... hey, the assistant referee's right in line and I'm not. But what a ball in from Charlie Adam. He's an English lad. He played for Stevenage in League Two, a team I know very well. And a great attitude. There was a crunching challenge just now from Rivas, and he just got up and got on with it. He's a central midfield player, but that was a great cross from the left wing.
Rivas with Fernandez. Nice give back from Colin. Calistri has Corrales to the outside. Boy, credit Fernandez there, because he was in a bad position trying to get around Kuringa. And somehow got to it first.
Yeah, good play from Colin Fernandez there, going down the left wing there, central midfield player I admire very much, as you know, Pop. And that was good defending from Kuringa in the end, and there's no way that he was going to get a penalty there.
USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. You can stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting USLsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL.
16 minutes gone, 0-0, and you know the Roughnecks more than matching the Real Monarchs. Obviously, the Monarchs have had the better clear-cut chance on the night, but Fabian Söder with a good save.
Spiessler. First time we've had a chance to mention Nick, the captain. Knocked away. Kaffa had his pocket picked, and now a foul.
And I think that is Karinga, isn't it? So it'd just be a warning.
He reached in.
There you go.
I'm with you. I thought that might be a warning from the get-go, but Karinga booked here in the 17th.
Well, we're keeping our eye on the stats here provided by the USL Pop, and first 17 minutes, and as normal, possession shaded by, or more than shaded by, the Roughnecks.
Here's the look. Yeah, clipped Kaffa there on the back in the area of the Achilles. Chidama's long ball forward. Finds Kalistri. Kaffa, curling ball towards the back post. Rivas now has to chase this one down. He will get there in plenty of time. Has Kosuke in a support position. Right-footed ball played in, and a header just wide. Whoa, Kaffa pointing to the sky on that one. He knows.
Well, we're more accustomed to seeing him do it with that fine left foot of his, but wow, that was a great header, and we're going to see the replay here just to see how close this was, Pop. I was out of my seat. That's a great ball in from Kosuke. There's the glancing header, and that's what, a foot wide maybe. Juan Pablo Kaffa.
Fernandez was froze.
Best chance for the Roughnecks. You just want that to hit a post and nestle in the back of the net, don't you? But 0-0, and they're really standing up here to the league leaders.
Yeah, we keep mentioning how the Roughnecks have played, and we'll go back to Tuesday night. Swope has traditionally been one of the teams inside of USL that's dominated possession, and Tulsa easily 60+% on Tuesday night against Swope, and have done that consistently throughout the season. Curling ball there, headed away out of the box by Lakawecki, and on the run comes Haber. Haber now left-footed cross inside the box, received there. Haber continues on his run. Söder comes off of his line, gets a piece of it.
Now this is where the Roughnecks have to be very, very careful, Pop, isn't it? It's perhaps a familiar story that, they have a great chance there with a Kaffa header, and then it just seems that, they've got to be so careful with the opposition here on the break, and Söder did extremely well there.
Nice takeaway there. Schuler, that one knocked away, all the way back to pay. Schuler finds Hernandez.
Well played, Jagori Hayes.
Absolutely.
That's good central midfield play there.
Yeah, and the confidence as well to not hesitate with the dribble whatsoever. Kosuke on the run. Schuler's going to come over to clean that one up, and referee will call a foul on the contact.
Well, Lakaweki's having a go at this. Excuse me, Charlie Adams is having a go at the AR there, who didn't actually raise his flag. That was all the centre referee.
Yes, it was, from trailing from behind. Yeah, you're exactly right. It was pretty clear on the replay, on the reverse angle too, that is the correct call.
Yeah, good decision.
This is danger area for Real Monarchs. Curling ball. Kalistri And we'll have another booking.
Now this one, Pop, is real Kafa territory. This is centre. It is slightly left of centre. Calistri was the man fouled. The referee setting a stall out here with these yellow cards. And I'm not a betting man, but it's got to be Kafa on goal, isn't it? There's the foul on Calistri, right ankle. Kafa must have a go here. Everybody back in a white shirt.
Just a tad bit off, as you said, direct center. Kafa's had several brilliant strikes from almost this exact same distance and could be looking to add another. Here's Kafa, long ball driven there, and Fernandez has to punch it away.
Good thinking from Kafa there. Possibly the keeper would have thought it's going to go to the keeper's right, but he went low. It bounced in front of the keeper on the left-hand post, turned away for a corner. Good pressure from the Roughnecks. 29 chances there created entering the game from Kafa.
No surprise, leading USL. Kafa's left-footed ball. Bourgeois had to shield off, tracks it down before it reaches the touchline. Has Jadama. Good ball from Jadama, looking for Kafa. Kafa one touch with the left. I think Kafa was upset at himself at that one. Slammed one of the extra balls behind the net into the wall behind the goal.
Yeah, it came to him and he took it first time, and he was annoyed with himself because he didn't catch it as he would have liked. It was a narrow angle. Here's the replay. That's Jadama's ball. That's a great pick out there. There he is, but he just hit it down into the ground.
Roughnecks will allow this one to trickle over the byline for a goal kick. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com, and you can stay up to date with all the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. They will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Unfortunate there between Calistri and Corrales. Corrales, the Cuban national. 34 appearances on the Cuban international team. Played in the 2015 Gold Cup for Cuba. Corrales was a little bit questionable heading in tonight because he had a quad strain. Flag is up.
Yeah, Kafa took that free kick early. Rivas got in there trying to get the header on goal, got in behind the defence, but just went too early.
Corrales spent some time with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, Miami FC.
We always say a great player. We love him there in that left back berth, but gets forward down the left, and as you said, as most crosses, you know, great player.
Yeah,
like
I mean, and I would put Corrales up there as one of the leaders for created opportunities for Tulsa this season, who plays in the back.
Well, they favor the left more, don't they?
They do.
Kosuke, you know.
Here's Hayes. Jacori setting himself up with the left. A driven shot at Fernandez. Handled well, but the first shot on goal from Jacori Hayes, who saw that space and took advantage of it.
Jacori Hayes has had a very good first 25 minutes. Here he is, confident run here. Gets it onto his favoured left, hits it straight at the keeper. But good play from Hayes, settling well alongside Colin Fernandez. I'm liking the balance of the Roughnecks, Pop. I think, you know, with Rivas, Kafa and Calistri in behind Swan Tustin, that's my favourite three. I think the coach by the formation that he's picked as well. Would say that's his favourite 3 as well with respect to Paris G.
Ja'Cory Hayes was described by his coach at Wake Forest as a tireless worker and had one of the strongest soccer IQs that he had ever been around.
And there he is, winning the ball back in the midfield. And in the end wins the free kick. Just tenacious. That's good play from him.
Yep, made his debut on March 11th, 2017 against Sporting. All ACC freshman team, all ACC tournament team in 15 and 16. Won the tournament championship in 2016, and you saw there also a national runner-up from Wake Forest. From Maryland, right outside of DC.
Anybody new to the game there? The referee, good piece of officiating there. It was a little clip on the play, let the play roll on, no advantage, so he brings it back to the original foul.
Wide from Lakawecki, cleared out of the box. Schuler comes up.
Shout out again to Swan Tusson. He works so hard up there. We say it every commentary.
Yeah,
it's hard up there on your own part.
I was just going to make that comment, and at times, I think if you were in Ian's position, there has been times, I think, where you have seen as well, where sometimes a guy will track back a little bit too far to try to receive those. But I don't mind it a bit here early with Ian coming back as he did all the way there to the halfway line, just to get a touch to kind of get involved with the flow of it a little bit. And you saw Rivas push up centrally when Ian slotted over here towards the touchline. So I don't mind that at all.
Well, you know, going back a few years, the centre forward was the guy that scored all your goals. And in the modern game, we know he's got 3 excellent players behind him in Rivas, Kaffer and Calistri. And sometimes Ian Spuntusson's job is to take away the central defenders, and he does that extremely well. Obviously, we want him to be, you know, getting inside the 6-yard box and getting a few goals like he has done, 5 already this season.
Calistri. Rivas, corner of the 18. Little chip there. Unable to find someone. Corey just missed getting to that ball first. Nice battle there with Bourgeois, and Bourgeois upset with the foul inside the center circle on Hoffman.
Yeah, Bradley Bourgeois likes a good physical challenge, and I think that could have gone either way. It's gone against the defender, as it often does on the halfway line. But again, you know, referee right on the spot. Coming up to half an hour gone, 0-0.
You know, it's pretty amazing for the Monarchs. As a shot directly at Serta. Oh, a hard-driven ball. He knocked that one down. Credit Serta with another big save here in the first half.
Yep, brings Dave Vaudreuil to his feet there. Just saying we need to tighten up a little bit on that, but another fine save.
Lakawecki's cross. Headed away by Bourgeois.
Another great save from Fabian Serta.
Serta deserves that hug there from Bourgeois. Comes over and gets a little handshake from Corrales. Yeah, amazing to get up in front of that one. And boy, Daniel Haber has presented some problems from his midfield spot for the Roughnecks here in the first half, along with Hernandez and Hoffman.
Yeah, came in off his favoured left wing there and central, and had a good save again from Serta.
Curling ball in. Played out by Mo. Mo elected to keep that ball. You know, he has Kaffa to the outside. Closed down there and unlucky off of the pressure from Hernandez. I like Mo decided to keep the ball there in that position, but maybe kept it one too many touches. Fabian Serta got the call recently to go up and work with Chicago. Really enjoyed his time in Chicago. Fire liked what they were able to see out of him. And it was not Coach Vaught calling and asking, it was Chicago reaching out and asking if Serta, that should be a card maybe for Ian. The referee has been quick to issue cards here, and maybe he will get, this will be his first and only warning.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I was with you. I thought that would be a definite card. I mean, I don't like to see fouls in the game, but what I want to point out there is Swantas's work rate again. He's the centre forward, but he's gone out there because Calistri was middle, and he's gone out on the left to try and defend. And okay, it's a free kick to the Monarchs, but in their own half. So hard-working Ian Swantassen once again.
Yeah, I'm a tad bit surprised the referee didn't reach for the pocket on that foul.
And I think Beasler was making the point there to the referee. He was tripped straight after that, yeah.
From the outsiders, Lakawecki. Boy, Hoffman, both hands went up directly to the face of Hoffman at that moment because he was making that little run right through the middle of the box. And I don't think Lakawecki saw him.
I don't think he did, but what I would say about Lakawecki and Harbour is that they're working extremely well, a bit like Corrales and Calistri do for the Roughnecks up this left-hand side. And the Roughnecks have got to defend well on this right-hand side against the league leaders. There's Lakawecki again. Okay, that's a slightly aimless ball, but you take my point that he's, you know, him and Haber are really hurting the Roughnecks a little bit down this left-hand side at the moment.
Throw in from Kosuke. Lakawecki finds Adams. Adams cuts to the inside. Right-footed ball there, came up off of one of the Roughnecks players. Hoffman was in the vicinity, but Serta has it.
Well, 0-0, good game, 34 minutes. You know, both sides have had good chances to break the deadlock, but so far 0-0. But both teams as well playing the game in the right way, really knocking it around, trying to get through and penetrate the two defences.
Headed down from there. Poor effort there from Pay. Deep third now for Tulsa. Court Furniture Rental has played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home when they're away from the pitch. Court Furniture there when you need it and gone when you don't.
Now, that's where I want to see Ian Swantassen there. He was back 10 yards out and another ball into the box. There he is, right in the thick of it. And that's what we need, our big number 9.
Just a tad bit tall for Ian on the well-played ball. There's Hoffman coming back to receive. Hoffman comes back, receives that ball, and immediately peels off to go on that run towards the corner flag.
Clever striker. You know, 8 goals, knows what he's doing.
Sometimes it's just the extra little things that you do. You may not get rewarded for it. You may not get rewarded for it, you know, 10 straight times, but it's that one time. And I think that's along the lines of what Coach Vaught was asking for from his players. That if we're going to find a way to score consistently, we have to find someone that's going to do the little things, especially when you're in the box. Here's Kosuke.
And I love this about Calistri. Coming from left to right there to be involved.
Well, there's Fernandez. Fernandez has shot there from Hayes. Well, sets himself up with the right foot that time and a well-driven ball.
I was going to say, the last time we saw him shoot, it was with the left. This one with the right, and I don't think there's much difference between the two. He's confident with both. Here he is, the number 3, steps inside on his right, hits a shot, and that is not too far away.
That reminds me of Fernandez's goal on Tuesday night. And Coach was very direct in saying, when you went back and watched that, how Colin had taken the one simple touch, set himself up, squared his hips up to the goal, and that's exactly what you saw there from Ja'Cory Hayes. That one extra little touch, squared the hips up, just unable to find the target.
You know, many a good goal have been scored all over the world in this great game by doing this simple thing. Sometimes we overcomplicate things, or, you know, as a player we take another touch and we don't need to. Sometimes it is just settle, bang,
well,
goal.
and especially when a team has struggled here recently to find the back of the net.
Well, we've certainly put some shots in or around the frame tonight.
You see that replay maybe at halftime coming out in the second half of that, because that's all created by Fernandez. Fernandez, in my opinion, I think makes probably the best runs inside the box as anyone on the team. Constantly probing. Oh, Calistri wanted possession there.
Yeah, always difficult for the referee. He let it go once. He had a couple of nibbles at him, did the midfielder, but I think in the end Calistri said, well, just let me have that run on goal. But anyway, the Roughnecks have the ball. Yeah, I'm a great fan of Fernandez, as you know. And there's Calistri wide of the target. I think he's a great player, Pop, in that midfield too. I really think the guy's great. And wasn't it great for him to get his first goal of his
he was super
career?
excited about that in the locker room afterwards. Obviously disappointed with the result on Tuesday night, but
he celebrated by having an ice bath.
He did. He was actually on his phone in the ice bath, and that's when he just kind of perked up and said, hey, by the way, you know, that was my first professional goal.
Doesn't sound like my idea of celebrating. But, you know, maybe a cold beer would have been, I'm sure he maybe had one of those.
Here's a giveaway at midfield. Can Tulsa take advantage? A little bit behind Rivas, still comes away with it. Kaffa, nice ball for Mo. Credit to Fernandez, who was able to sniff that one out early.
Well, you know what I think about Kaffa as well in his play, keep us down, but there are some players who can spot balls. And look at this. I mean, this is just a gift. Look at that. That is near perfection. Well done, the keeper, who's somehow got injured. I think it might have been a stretch of his leg. I don't think that. Yeah, there it is, a stretch of his leg. There was no malicious foul. But you know, sometimes Kaffa can pick out a ball that no one else in the team could possibly pick out. With all due respect to all of them, he is just a fantastic player.
Kaffa is the best at making you defend. Making you defend, taking you on one-on-one, putting you in an uncomfortable position. But a lot of times with a guy like Kaffa, it's not the first defender that presents any problems to Juan, because his vision is so good. He's seeing runs that aren't even happening yet. He's seeing 3 or 4 moves ahead of time, and that's what makes Juan so great.
And I don't think you coach that, do you? I think that's something you're born.
Yes, I agree. Coach Vaught, that's one of his consistent messages is we do not make teams defend enough. You have to put them in a compromising situation.
Good movement from the Monarchs there. And then it's coming from central to left.
And again, it's on this left side. There's a brilliant ball that's played in. Fabian Serta again off of his line to take that one away, but Hernandez with a perfectly timed ball on the ground made its way through the box.
Wonderful move here. Here's Hernandez coming to the left-hand side, and there's Haber, but a good stop again from Serta, who's had his work cut out and been up to the challenge in this first half. But again, you would say from the Roughnecks' defensive point of view, it's all coming down their right, and well played the Monarchs on their left, but something Coach Vods will obviously talk about at half-time. And it was a similar story for the Roughnecks, turning it round, wasn't it? They had joy down their left on Tuesday night.
Sven Tussin. Fernandez creating some space with that arm on Biesler. Kaffa on sides. And there's just a giveaway from Lakawecki.
Well, there's two things there. I mean, Kaffa's ball into the box was a great ball. And again, you know, Ian Saventusson, if you look, well, there he is. This is just before. He couldn't quite get it out from under his feet. Saventusson came off the defender and went slightly more, you know, towards the back of the box. And I think Kaffa was saying, you should have been there. And Ian was saying, well, I thought you were going to pull it back. So a mixture there.
Kaffa, good ball there. Oh. Bourgeois.
Great ball in from Kaffa, just above Bourgeois there. Didn't quite get over the top of it. But, you know, this is good signs on the Roughnecks. All that was a corner. You know, they are in open play, getting in behind this Monarchs defense.
Soccer fans, Nike is the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. You can also stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. You can tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. And don't forget, Sirius XM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. You can check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
A little bit of defending to do for the Roughnecks here with a minute and a half to go, the 45 in this first half. Everybody back. Do not want to concede a goal now if you are the Roughnecks.
Two-man wall with Hayes, Calistri. Adams driven ball. Jacory gets there first, turns away. Takes a tumble. It's Adams that was knocked off the ball defensively.
That's great play.
Yeah, long ball up, and it's Kaffa. He's got Rivas trailing from behind. Waffa. Wow. Incredible defense there from Real Monarchs SLC. I want to see the replay on that.
I think it was Lakawecki that came across from left back there, and I think he slipped and gave Kaffa another chance. Here is Kaffa. We'll just see Lakawecki's come across here, gets a touch there, and just nothing really Kaffa could do.
You know what, though? For a defender, did his job, because all he did was got that touch. Sometimes that's all it takes. Here's Sven Tussin. 1 minute of stoppage time will be added. And the Roughnecks now really pushing here over the last 5 minutes as the 1 minute up on the board.
Well, if they could score now, Pop, this will really set this one up. I mean, they've worked really, really hard, and maybe this will be the last chance of the game. Can they go in one up at half-time?
Kaffa. Tough to see who that one came off of. Referee will point.
I think it was Jadama there, but I think he was unsighted because a couple of players went up, one from each team, and it came to Jadama over their heads. I think if you see this, here's the great man again, Kaffa, into the box, and there you could see, I think it was Bourgeois rather got in his way with the defender.
Oh, you're right. From our angle, it looked like it might have touched a member of the Monarchs SLC, but it did not. Throw in, and the referee will signal that that will be it for the first half on a beautiful night here in Tulsa. There's Coach Vaught adjusting his watch. Come over and receive some notes from Lloyd as those two have a chat. Tulsa 2-0-2 when tied at halftime this season, as Coach Vaught has a seat quickly before grabbing a drink and addressing the team. Monarchs 1-0-1 when they are tied at half this season as well. As both teams make their way into the locker room. We'll have a conversation with Coach Vaught coming up in a minute. See Kafa there having a chat. Kosuke as well. Halftime, scoreless here at ONEOK Field. Some of your thoughts, Dave Saunders, on the first half?
I would say that is one of the best first half performances I've seen from the Roughnecks, certainly in recent times. They've really taken it to the league leaders. They created chances in goal. Yes, defensively, the keeper for the Roughnecks, Serda, has had a fantastic game, and there are some issues that I'm sure Coach Vaught will sit down and talk about. But good night so far. Can they go and get something from this game?
You're right. I have a feeling that Coach Vaught is not going to be too upset with this performance. Let's find out. We'll throw it down on the field to our sideline reporter, Paige Martin, who has the head coach of the Roughnecks, Dave Vaudreuil. Paige?
Coach, it's been a solid first half for the Roughnecks. They've been able to move the ball. They've dominated possession, and we've even seen several chances from Kafa, Rivas, and Hayes. Overall, how do you kind of see your team's performance so far in this first half?
I thought we played very well, except for the fact that we gave up like 3 or 4 point-blank shots for Fabian to make saves. I mean, they could have easily scored 2 goals. We could have scored a couple goals, but I think they had the more quality chances, even though we had the thing. So we have to make some adjustments and make sure we're a little bit tighter on the field because they're getting too many open looks in our box.
And speaking of goalkeeper Fabian Serda, he's almost been unstoppable in the goal tonight. It's almost as if he's covered every single inch in that goal. Now the question is, how can we expect him to keep up that same intensity in the second half?
Well, you know, he's a big-time player. He's played in all the biggest games in Chile. He just went and trained for a week with Chicago Fire and did very well. So he's very calm. He's very quick, and he's able to make the big saves, which is why you have him out there. But we shouldn't have to rely on him so much.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this next half.
All right, thank you, Paige. Appreciate that. And the comments from head coach Dave Vaudreuil. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll have a conversation with Donovan Ricketts, the goalkeeper coach for the Tulsa Roughnecks. This is Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
Donovan Ricketts. I'm from Jamaica. I'm a journeyman. I started my career in Jamaica. Then I went to England for a little bit with Bolton Wanderers. Spent 5 seasons with Bradford City. Then I came here to the MLS. I played with the Galaxy, where we won the championship. Played with Portland, Montreal, and in Orlando. So a bit of a journeyman.
Who was your favorite player to watch growing up?
In my mind, I was a striker back then, so I like watching Marco van Basten. Yeah, so he was my favorite player growing up.
So how'd you end up a keeper if you wanted to be a striker?
Well, when you're no good on the field, automatically you end up in goal. So that's how I ended up back in goal.
So what was it like in 2011 winning the MLS Cup?
No, it was a good feeling because my first year with the Galaxy, that was in 2009, we came short. Then 2010, we came short again. So it was a wonderful feeling to see everything come together and we win in the championship.
And then kind of on the same thing, you were named MLS Goalkeeper of the Year twice. What's it like to receive that honor?
No, it's really a good feeling because it's like you're in not competition directly against every other keeper in the league, but you are chosen like the top keeper in the league for that year. So it was a tremendous feeling knowing that all the work you put in from preseason during the season paid off, and you were chosen by your peers at least to be the top keeper. So it was a good achievement.
So who was the toughest player that you played against in the MLS or otherwise?
Toughest player I played against, I would say Henry, because every time we played against New York, he scored. So I think I would say Henry was the toughest I've faced, because I don't know, for every game we played, he got the better of me and he put one past me. So
was it speed, power, all of it?
I think it was just class. Classy player. He knows how to finish. So I would say class.
So you played for the Jamaican national team. I think you made 100 appearances for them. What was it like just being able to represent your team on the national stage?
Well, it's a good feeling. Jamaica is I would say, a small population compared to other countries. So it's like if you play for your national team in Jamaica, you're known. So it's good to be, even though I'm 6'5" and you have to see me, so at least you know that I'm not a waste of space. This guy represents his country. And I was fortunate because we produced a lot of good goalkeepers. So to play for my country, even one cap, much less 100 caps, it's a special feeling, it's an honor.
So tell us a little bit about your role as a player coach with the Roughnecks. What's that dynamic going to be like?
Well, I think it's not really player coach, it's like coach / maybe player. So I'm here in the capacity of really a coach. So I retired at the end of 2015, but everyone that's retired, I think they still have a little bit of juice left. So when the opportunity came that coach / maybe you can play, I just jumped because I said, maybe there's a little bit of juice left in the tank. So, but I'm here in the role, firstly, to develop goalkeepers and to help where I can with the coaching staff.
What are some of the qualities that you look for in a starting goalkeeper?
Work ethic. I think the goalkeeping is a special position. You're at the back and you're the last line, so you have to be mentally strong and you have to be a good communicator. So work ethic, mentally strong, good communicator, and you have to have ability too. So the game has changed, so it's a bonus if you're really good with your feet. So those are the qualities that you look for.
Can you talk about what your coaching style will be like?
My coaching style is what other coaches, I saw the good and the bad that they did. So I know that's my approach. I try to, it's more mental sometimes than everything else. So I hope to just get in their heads mentally, so to build toughness, a little bit of resilience and all that. So every goalkeeping coach will have their own different style of how they want you to do this and that. But when it comes down to it, you do that every day, but still the mental toughness to get through games, to get through a season, to get over mistakes. That's really the part where I will try to see if my experience and what I've learned will help my keepers.
What influenced you to want to coach after you retired as a player?
I love this game, man. This game is my life. I've been around this game since I was a baby. So if I wasn't playing initially as a profession, I would be involved as a coach a long time ago because I just love this game. So I was fortunate enough to play this long. So this is just a natural progression.
Coach Fodry score on you?
Never. But maybe he's the boss, so I let him score. Yeah, I let it go.
It's summertime, Drillville. Time to work on that tan. Make sure you have the coolest beach towel there is around this summer. Head to ONEOK Field on July 6th, where the first 1,000 fans will receive this one-of-a-kind Los Angeles Dodgers beach towel. Brought to you by Fox 23 and 103.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout,
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad. today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
It's summertime, Drillville. Time to work on that tan. Make sure you have the coolest beach towel there is around this summer. Head to ONEOK Field on July 6th, where the first 1,000 fans will receive this one-of-a-kind Los Angeles Dodgers beach towel. Brought to you by Fox 23 and 103.
Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you, coming to you live from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth here at ONEOK Field. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights between these two teams, who are scoreless here at halftime. And in the first half, most of it was the work from Fabian Serta. Roughnecks had their opportunities, though. Nice little run through there by Calistri, who was cut down near the front post. And here's this great ball that's played in over the top, but both of us questioned whether or not Rivas would be able to get there in time. He does. And here's this hard-working trio that we've seen with another great save from Serta. And also Kaffa got into the mix, Dave.
Yeah, Kaffa into the mix. That was a clever shot there. The keeper probably thought he was going to go to his right, and the Roughnecks kept coming here. Here's a great ball in from Kosuke, and the header from Kaffa just wide there and a good chance.
Jadama as well, another good ball. That one driven into the turf there from Kaffa. And through the center of the pitch, here's the newcomer, Ja'Cory Hayes, on loan from FC Dallas, who had a couple of shots in the first half.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Hayes with his left foot there. Lady will see him with the right. That was another save from Hoffman there, coming in with the header. Great save from Serta. And here is Ja'Cory Hayes on the right foot this time. Just flashing a shot just wide.
Yep, squared his hips up. Calistri there, a little bit wide on his shot, more than a little bit. Brilliant ball from Hernandez played in. And wow, did Daniel Haber give the Roughnecks some trouble. Serta off of his line to help and support. And there's Jadama's ball directly over the top of the bar. Here's the halftime statistics. Shots, Tulsa with 11 of them, 6 of those on frame. Passing accuracy at 80%, 52% possession. And wow, Dave, pretty much tells the story about how even that this has been between these two teams here this evening.
Very even, and I'll make the point again. If you're a neutral, you come in, you don't know who's who, you don't know who's top of the league, as the league leaders do kick off. You know, you wouldn't necessarily say it's the team in white, but no soft goals if you're a Tulsa Roughnecks fan. And here we go, Pop. Hold on to your hats, everybody.
Throw in favor of Tulsa. Real quick, we want to say Alan and Steve doing a great job on the cameras tonight.
Alan's the boy that runs up and down the touchline, gets in behind both goals for us, brings us brilliant angles. And there he is running up the left-hand side again.
Chipped into the box, just to the outside edge is Fantussen. Corrales, left-footed ball looking for Rivas on the back post. Cut down by the defender. Nice run there from Rivas. Has to pull it back. Oh, Kaffa just missed that one. Fernandez tracking it back. Has it. Leaves for Jadama. Kaffa with the nice turn. Kosuke to the outside. Hayes unable to slip that ball in, but here's Calistri. Calistri finds himself alone, slots it in, and there's a goal. Tulsa has found the back of the net. It's Joaquin Rivas in the 47th minute. And oh, how important that one is, because Tulsa has yet to win a game when they concede the first. And that's not the case here this evening, as Joaquin Rivas with the first goal of the night.
What a fantastic start to the second half. There's the goal scorer, but I want to credit the cool-headed Mr. Calistri. Look how he waits here, Pop. Lovely ball, wrong foots the defender with his eyes more than anything. Pulls back the perfect ball for Mr. Rivas. His third of the season, the Roughnecks first on the night, and they are ahead against the leaders, 1-0.
And if you watch on the replay, that's Joaquin's second goal in 2 games, and I know his sister is probably losing her mind right now, watching somewhere. But if you watch the replay, I thought you brought up a brilliant point about Calistri, because the timing that it takes, and he held it long enough to actually draw the defender over, just that extra step. And here's Fernandez through the middle third, looking for Kaffa. Skips by Kaffa. Corrales has it to that man Calistri. Corner of the box. Step over. Cuts back to the inside. Leaves it there. A shot. Oh, that's just wide.
Well, the Roughnecks are on fire. We've got orange smoke going across the field, and the Roughnecks playing in orange are absolutely on fire. Here's Calistri again inside the box, back here to Colin Fernandez, takes a deflection. It's similar to his goal on Tuesday night, but this time the Monarchs get lucky as it goes past the post, and here's the corner.
Yeah, that was off of Biesler. Played out of the box. Jadama heads towards the corner. Tough angle for Jadama.
Well, I'm only guessing here, Pop. We can only guess what Dave Vodrell said to him at half-time, but I suggest he might have said two things, two main points. Number one, you know, he said himself, didn't he, to Page, we don't want them to see the whites of the eyes of the keeper, our keeper. We don't want them to have point-blank shots at our keeper, thank you very much. And the second thing he would have said was, go out there, go at them, and go get an early goal in the second half, settle yourselves down. And that's exactly what the Roughnecks have done.
That's goal number 3 on the season, by the way, for Rivas, who coming into tonight had 13 appearances and 11 starts. Is well over that 1,000-minute mark in minutes played.
Be interesting to see now how the Roughnecks play this one, because with respect, lately they haven't been used to being in front, have they? And, you know, 1-0 up against the Monarchs. Here they come, though, the Monarchs, dangerous times.
Fernandez bumped off. That was Fernandez that fought back somehow.
Oh, that's brilliant from Fernandez there. He really up against Hernandez, and he was absolutely superb in his defensive play there.
Well, and it was a good job, I thought, team-wise, of just surrounding Hernandez there. Ooh, chopped down. And
well, to be honest, I have to say I didn't think there was anything wrong with that at all. I think he played the ball, and I think the lad just went over the top of him. But I might be wrong. I probably will be proved wrong when I see the replay. There's Kaffer and the referee having a smile. Kaffer just saying, hey, that was 50-50. Again, in the modern game, perhaps a foul. But let's have a look at this here. Here comes Fernandez. I think, well, okay, I think the referee got it right again, and I'm wrong. I think it was a foul. But, you know, it was one of those that could have gone either way.
I don't think that there was any intention on
Right.
it by any means. It was
Right.
It looked like he tried to pull up, kind of went down to a knee there, and he flipped over the top of him. That forward momentum. Here's Adams towards the back post. Serta punches that one away with both hands up off the back line.
Well, can I just compliment Mr. Ricketts, the goalkeeping coach, because I was watching him warm up with Serta, and that's one of the things that they did. And Serta was deliberately coming out of his goal and double fisting the ball away. So that's good preparation. We know Ricketts is a class coach anyway, but well done Serta and well done Ricketts in preparation there. There's Fabian Serta there in that pink shirt. He's had a fantastic night. Can he keep a clean sheet tonight? But it's danger here because there's a corner for the Monarchs.
Driven ball. Jadama had himself in the right position. Good work there. Still in the offensive third. Andrew Brody. Simple touch to the outside. And that's where it can be dangerous off of those deflections like that. As Haber had played it. Boy, that ball goes over the top.
Well, we're used to seeing baseballs go over there, aren't we? But not exactly footballs. But Rivas saying, OK, I want that ball out of the stadium. We need to have a little bit of a respite here because this is an important phase of the game here, Pop. A really important phase of the game. And they've got to stand firm here of the Roughnecks. We're going to have Charlie Adams with a corner nearest to us here in swinging with that left foot of his.
We will watch the runs. Here they separate.
That's good defensive play. And you were saying in that last phase of play about Jadama getting in the right position. It was a tremendous physical challenge, and he rose well in the air to clear that danger. And again, Serta doing well with a double-fisted punch, and the Roughnecks can just slow things down a little bit now and just soak up this pressure. But we've said, Pop, haven't we, that, you know, Coach Fox, he doesn't sit on a 1-0. They don't play like that, do they? I mean, of course, we'd take 1-0 right now, wouldn't we? But
that's not his style.
That's not his style, is it?
Karinga on the square. Out wide to Brody. Brody couldn't handle it. Rivas has it. Monarchs back on their own side of the field. Now into the middle third. Brody's had some space here on this near side in the early going of the first half. Chip ball settled there inside the box. Ooh, comes to the foot of Hoffman, and he puts it over the top of the bar.
Yeah, again, I would say that's good defending from the Roughnecks. They know they're going to be under the cosh now, and everybody's doing it to a man here. You've got Corrales at left back, you've got Kosuke at right back, and then you've got Bourgeois and Jadama, who so far have stood firm against Mr. Hoffman and the like.
Look at some of the fans here at ONEOK. Serta settled in the center of the pitch. Some space now. Kosuke and Rivas. Good job from Bourgeois. Leans a little bit, uses his size advantage there against Hernandez. Able to clear that ball out of play. Case & Associates is your home for the Roughnecks players when they're not on the pitch here at ONEOK Field.
Two good teams are on display tonight, Pop. I'm loving the way the central midfield is working out with, you know, Ja'Cory Hayes and Fernandez for the Roughnecks up against Adams and Beasler. It's a good battle in the middle of the field, and both teams have been able to play through each other in the middle of the park. So really good game of football we're seeing here tonight.
By the way, you can check out caseusa.com. Any apartment needs that you might need or have. Jadama. One too many touches for Mo. On the run. Tracking back is Corrales. Oh, Kosuke gets there in the nick of time. Haber was 2 steps behind Kimura. There's Adams.
Well, Jadama immediately held his hand up there, Pop, to say sorry to his team, because that's the one thing you can't do, is allow the Monarchs back in, and he was out of position and it nearly came to something. Jadama, you know, he held his hand up straight away. One player too many.
Monarchs have seemed to settle in here a bit, Dave. More possession here in the last 5 minutes.
Well, the table never lies, does it, Pop? And, you know, what have they played? 15 games, 37 points. I mean, only 1 defeat. I mean, they are a class act. You know, they're up against, 2 defeats. You know, they're up against a classy side in the Roughnecks tonight. I don't know if, you know, Monarchs fans have seen much of the Roughnecks. And, you know, you look at the Roughnecks, you know, in their position in the table, and, you know, sometimes we say they play really well and they'll come out with the results. They're playing really well. They've stepped up their game tonight against a very good Monarch side. And as I say again, we're seeing a very, very good game of soccer here.
Well, and the point was made. We saw this earlier in the season from San Antonio, and Monarchs were just kind of trailing behind them there, and they've flipped places now as Tulsa has earned a corner. But there's still a long way to go in the season, and you set yourself up incredibly well here in the early portion, but you know, we're talking about a team that for the first time in 9 games didn't get a victory. It's hard to keep that up consistently week after week after week.
Just over Mojadama. No, it is. And I think we put a statistic up earlier on that it might have been a USL record, I think.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right. The pressure's on, and you're there to be knocked off the top, aren't you? And that's exactly what the Roughnecks are, you know, up against tonight. They're a class team. Well managed by Mr. Briggs from Wolverhampton in the Midlands of England.
You know, in that record-breaking win, that 2-1 win against Reno, 1868, the Real Salt Lake first team members, you had Velasco, Fernandez, all of them got valuable minutes with Real. There were a lot of full-time players for them to be able to rely on, or first team members.
Colin Fernandez is having a phenomenal game tonight. That was a perfect ball through to Swan Tussen, who just couldn't get round the defender. But what a threaded ball through. Kaffa-like it was from Fernandez. It's going to be a Roughnecks throw off Lakaweki. Has to start Real Monarchs 1-1-0. We're giving up the first goal in the game.
All the way back to Serta.
And I think the Roughnecks have won that little battle in the last 10 minutes. You know, 60 minutes gone in this game, and they've weathered the storm a little bit, Pop. And, you know, they're playing quite confidently now, and that, well, just giving the ball away there. But they've weathered a bit of a storm. Can they keep the Monarchs out here with a half an hour to go?
It's been an overall team effort in that streak for the Monarchs as well. You go back to that game against Reno, and Fernandez had 5 pretty incredible saves. Had one in the 69th minute. That might be one of the better saves that we've seen in the league all year long. How about that ball from Calistri? Can Kaffa get there in time? No, Fernandez out, and there's the shot. Can this one find its way in? No! Oh, from distance, it was Calistri. And you give that 2 more inches to the right, and that's in.
Well, again, Mr. Cool on the night. Mr. Calistri is very cool for the pullback for the goal. Here he is again. Kaffa puts the keeper under pressure. There's the ball clipped over the top, and Kaffa thought, oh, it's going to hit the post and come back out to me for the tap in, but it just, as you said, a couple of inches clips the post, goes away harmlessly. Could have been 2-0 very easily.
Fernandez had a huge sigh of relief as he saw that one clip the edge of the bar or the post.
And sometimes it's little moments like that that, you know, can win or lose you the game, and it would have been nice for the Roughnecks to go 2 up, and now they have to sit in again and defend. Referee just having a word with Jacori Hayes there about the foul and then kicking the ball away.
Look at Paris G and Pasha there for a brief moment. Still having that conversation with Hayes. You know, Mark Briggs, the head coach for the Monarchs SLC during that game with Phoenix, was serving a 1-game suspension for being ejected during that Reno match. Of course, Phoenix with that combination of Watson and Drogba. Ian keeps the possession. Shot from Fernandez blocked away.
Oh, what a piece of skill, and he's going to get a foul for it. What a piece of skill. I hope we got that one on the replay. That was a tremendous piece of skill. I think it was Colin Fernandez down there.
We'll have our first sub of the night.
Look at this for a piece of skill here, Pop. Look at that.
Wow.
And he was clipped by Charlie Adams. Free kick to the Roughnecks down in the right-hand side, and Pop will tell you about the substitution. I think Hernandez has gone off.
Hernandez has gone off. This is Desiree. Jonelle Desiree on. The native of Haiti.
Well, that was good from the Roughnecks there. Caffo producing a ball to the far post. Two players peeling off. One of them was Svan Tussen, but in the end it was just a glancing header wide. Well, what an important 25 minutes in the Roughnecks season, Pop.
Desiree, by the way, scored 2 goals in 3 games for the Haitian under-20 side in the most recent CONCACAF under-20 qualifier. Made his debut in LA. Missed the first 3 games of the season while he was away training. Coach Vaudreuil.
Not in his suit tonight, is he?
Yeah, a different look for Coach Vaught, and I have to ask him maybe if that was a little superstition.
Yeah.
Hasn't been able to find the victory as of late while wearing the suit. Wide looking for Fernandez, or excuse me, Calistri. Tulsa will play at Oklahoma City on the 8th and then go to Los Angeles for the 13th before they come back home to welcome Phoenix before the rematch in Rio Tinto. And that one just slides by. I think Serta probably had that covered up.
My words exactly, I was going to say. I think he did, but had him scrambling, and that just shows you in a second, you know, you're under pressure. Here's the replay. Little ball into the box, and this will be a snap shot, right-footed, and there's Serta, but you're right, Pop. He had it covered. Remains 1-0 to the Roughnecks. Yeah, 5 games, isn't it, in July for the Roughnecks? Starting on the 1st and finishing on the 31st.
And then that big stretch as we move into August from the 15th. The Roughnecks are away from home for over a month. 6 away games in a row starting August 15th all the way through September 23rd when Los Dos comes to town.
Oh, class again from Fernandez.
Fernandez has got to be in the conversation for man of the match, even though he was just awarded that on Tuesday.
Yeah, I possibly would have gone with Jadema on Tuesday. That's a slack ball there from the Monarchs, but Fernandez has had a brilliant game. Of course, we shouldn't forget the performance of the goalkeeper Serta, but then you can throw in Calistri, Caffa. You know, they're all there tonight for the cause.
Yeah, Serta's my leading man as of right now.
Although we could do with him having a last quiet 22 minutes, couldn't we, my friend?
I would be happy if he didn't have to touch the ball again, Dave.
Absolutely right. But even that piece of play before the foul there by Colin Fernandez, winning that ball somehow in the middle of the field. Really good. And then look there, look, just to win that header there. And here comes the foul drawn on Bradley Bourgeois. And here come the Roughnecks again.
Calistri. Oh, Ian couldn't get there in time. It's also a run from Rivas. There's just another great ball from Joey.
I just wonder whether Joey Calistri may have had a shot on frame there, but it was, you're right, my friend, it was a fantastic pullback. We'll have a look at the replay here.
And it's Hayes.
Hayes through. Here's Calistri. Could he have had a shot there? No, I think probably he made the right decision.
I think that's the right ball.
Yeah. Pulls it back. And again, there was some good runs made inside the box. We got an injury here.
51% possession now for Tulsa.
There's Charlie Adams.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. And you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com.
Pop, we've got 20 minutes left. I mean, I could ask you the question, then I can give you what I think as well. But, you know, if you're Coach Vods now, do you freshen up? Do you freshen up by bringing on a careful substitution or two? You know, you're up against a very strong side here. 20 minutes to go is a long, long time. You're winning 1-0. Would you change things, my friend?
I might leave things as is for about 8 more minutes or so before I might think about maybe making a move here or there. I'm worried about necessarily messing up a bit of the flow of play that has happened so far for Tulsa. I think that they've been really good tonight, and I just hesitate to mess anything up, at least in the early going. But around that 78, 79 mark, I think that's when I look to maybe make a move and maybe freshen someone up in the mid.
Yeah, or you know, maybe Ian Swantussen has worked hard again, maybe works hard for another, you know, 5 or so minutes, and then someone else goes up there and scurries around up front, you know, puts pressure on the back four. That's a sad sight, by the way. Charlie Adams going off there with looked like a twisted ankle. But yeah, I'm with you. I think I would leave well alone for a little while. The bench, of course, is Paris G, Brady Ballou, Jamie Ayala, and Pasha Kondrakin, and then Brian Byers, of course, the goalkeeping sub. So a good bench, and maybe Coach Vods will dip into that. We'll see in the next 18 minutes.
Throw in now. Good work from Jacori defensively. Very impressive with that young man tonight.
Yeah, him and Colin Fernandez have done extremely well in there, haven't they?
FC Dallas, during the Open Cup match, came away very impressed with Tulsa. Leaves it back outside of the arc, a shot off of the deflection. Good close down from Calistri, but a corner now.
More defending to do, and I think there'll be very few coaches that would say, you know, they've not been impressed with the Roughnecks. I think every game they've played, they've impressed. You know, they just haven't had the run of things, but they've got some defending to do here.
Well, and that's what led to Hayes being put on loan. That one misses to the opposite side. It's also fortunate.
Well, you look at, you look at it both ways, don't you? You look at the likes of Calistri, Colin Fernandez, we love them here. We know they're on loan from Chicago Fire, but the Fire are getting, minutes for these young players, and, fantastic to watch. But it's a two-way thing, isn't it?
Big win for the Fire today.
What a game in the week, though, in the Open Cup between Cincinnati and
how much fun was that?
My goodness me, those goalkeepers, both of them, take your hats off, boys. Brilliant performances.
Hildebrand was standing on his head the entire night.
You talked to me about English expressions that I bring. Standing on your head, I hadn't heard that one. I had to ask someone. I said, what do they mean? I mean, I guessed what it was, but I hadn't heard that one, my friend. So,
yeah.
It works both ways.
We use that a little bit in hockey as well.
Just fantastic, though, the way, and we saw Bravo with the Chile penalty saves against Portugal. Keepers are becoming very adept in these penalty shootouts, but in open play, both of those keepers brilliant. And we've got two good goalkeepers on display tonight. Here's one of them, Fabian Soda.
Chicago had that 4-0 win over Vancouver earlier. Overlapping run from Corrales. Few step over moves, and Fernandez helps out on the angle. Fernandez keeping his run through. That ball just a little bit too much on it, and that's not giving that ball enough proper respect, because it was still a great look from Kaffa.
And great to see Colin Fernandez is one of your sitting two midfield players being the furthest advanced player forward there. Good goalkeeping again, good brave goalkeeping from Fernandez. The other thing that, another plug for you and the Pop and Vod show, Coach Vods was saying, correct me if I'm wrong, was saying, the players are match fit now. And, the conditioning has all been done, and they're still, someone like Colin Fernandez is still scurrying around the pitch after 75 minutes. I've been really impressed with their conditioned play tonight.
Curling ball in.
Well, Jadama's head there, that's one of those that can very easily nestle in the top corner of the net. Fabian Soda again scurrying away to his right there, but Jadama gets just about enough on it. It's another corner, here it is, the ball coming in from the substitute. And there's Jadama there, he'll rise high, and that so easily can nestle in the top corner, but it didn't.
Calistri sends this out of play. Allows the defense a chance to reset. Referee wants Goringa to push back a bit. Chip over the head. It's there. Settled by Haber.
Well, referee riding on the spot and saying that came off a white shirt last, so goal kick. Brilliant header away by Corrales there in the central defence.
A lot of touches in the box, though, for Real Monarchs SLC.
We are going to have a substitution. I think Paris G is going to come on.
Be interesting to see tactically. This is going to be Paris G for Rivas.
Well, Rivas has worked hard. Maybe he's just got a slight strain, or is it purely tactical? Yeah. If it is that, and it is, you're right, my friend, then, it's going to be a straight swap, isn't it? G will come on the right-hand side of the three, or the left-hand side of the three. And it will be Rivas who gets a goal.
Well, bravo to Joaquin.
Yeah, fine performance from the young man. And Paris G, who started the game on Tuesday, will slot in on the right-hand side of the 3, still a 4-2-3-1.
It's there and in.
Fantastic ball in, Pop. And there was Ian Seventusson stooping down and headering it to the left of the keeper. And what a timely goal, and I'm so pleased for Seventusson. That's his 6th goal of the season. A fine goal, and he's worked hard all night, and he deserves that. 2-0, a little bit of daylight between the two teams.
Wow, just seconds after Paris G had made his way on. Not even enough time to adjust my notes here with Paris making his way onto the pitch. Seventusson. Has to be a bit of relief for him to get back on the board, because there's been a lot of pressure on 19 to score for Tulsa.
And again, who am I to say, but I would have taken him off and given him a rest, but he wouldn't have scored that goal. Kaffer wants to throw, but he won't get it. But yeah, a good ball in and a really good stooping header from Seventusson. 6 goals for the big man this season.
We'll hopefully get a look at that in the next dead ball.
It was the perfect delivery.
And from that man, Juan Kaffa again. Good challenge there. Jacory.
That will be a card.
That will be. Here's a look. As Rivas was coming out. Almost from the touchline. Curling in, and there it was right on the front post. Brilliant. Not only from Kaffa, but perfect placement from Seventusson. And we'll have another sub. And it's Ayala who comes on for Ian, who just scored.
Yeah, both goal scorers have been substituted now. The Roughnecks 2 up. They've got 9 minutes to go here, plus the board. And we'll wait and see who's going to play in the centre-forward role for the Roughnecks. Well, it looks to me like...
Here's another
Hayes,
look.
Yeah, here's the... What a delivery, Pop. I mean, if you're a central striker, I mean, credit the goal scorer, because he had to get in front of the defender.
And can we talk about, Dave, what that second goal does just from a mindset for the Roughnecks? You know, they're in the 79th minute. Not saying that you relax by any stretch of the imagination, but it does give you a completely different feel. That's offsides.
No, it does. And also what it does to the opposition. I noticed that they kicked off and they played a loose ball straight out into touch.
Yeah.
You know, it puts a bit of daylight, but there's still a while to go. And if the Monarchs were to get one back now, 2-1, you know, a different story. But
it can force them to change their tactics a bit.
You're right. And you know, coming back to your original point, what does it do for the Roughnecks? They must be feeling on top of the world at the moment. You know, 2-0 up against the side that's only lost twice in the whole season. You know, their keepers not had much to do. Fabian Söder in the last, 25 minutes? Had a brilliant first half. They weathered that first half storm, went in at 0-0, got the early second, and then they've got a reasonably late, an early in the second half first goal. And then Seventusson doubles the lead with, 10 minutes, 12 minutes to go when he scored the goal. Both teams in unfamiliar territory lately.
Ayala. Shot towards the back post. Boy, we might have to call FC Dallas personally and ask if we can get Jacory Hayes on loan a few more times this season. Impressive, the young man.
I think the Roughnecks have gone more to a traditional 4-4-2, and Kaffer's even making up the 5. Hayes has gone out wide on the left-hand side now. Jamie Ayala's gone in with Colin Fernandez.
Have the Roughnecks adjusted, Dave, to what you saw, that area of space in their formation that Salt Lake was, or excuse me, Real Monarchs were taking advantage of there in the first half? Was kind of that space there fitting in between Kosuke right there in the midfield a little bit. And it looks like that Tulsa has just adjusted a bit to that in the second half, and that hasn't been a glaring of a weakness for them defensively.
Again, good coaching from Coach Vodge. Exactly. We were just saying at half-time off mic that, you know, in the 4-2-3-1, if there's one weakness, it's that right-hand side, that left-hand side, in between your front three, or those three that sit in, and there's a bit of a space, you know, with your two sitting centrally. And there's a little pocket of space which I think the Monarchs did extremely well to exploit in the first half. But you're right, these Roughnecks have worked on that, plugged the gap, and well done to them. They are 2-0 up now with 5.5 minutes to go.
And you saw that was where Lakawecki was coming in to kind of fill that space a bit there, and they was working extremely well with Hernandez and also Haber on that side. It was a well-oiled machine with the connections back and forth between those three, and Tulsa has seemed to sniff that out a bit.
I'm very impressed with Lakawecki and Haber on that left-hand side. They've been a little bit quieter in the second.
Tulsa will have another sub here in 1 minute as we are in the 86th. You see it 6-0-1 when they score first this season. It'll be Brady Ballou that will be checking in here in a few moments.
Jadama, they're giving Hoffman no space whatsoever.
Good fight there from Jacori. Quick note on Jacori. For those of you that didn't watch the coaches show, Jacori was actually going to be here during one of the last games, and FC Dallas sustained an injury after Jacori had already driven to Tulsa, 4-hour drive, and they called him back immediately as soon as he got here. That one's directly at Serta off of the header.
Yeah, wasted journey that day, but not a wasted journey tonight, as he's had a fantastic game and another candidate, to be honest with you, for the Tulsa Roughnecks man of the match.
Here's a look at that header at Serta. Ayala, Kaffa's driven ball over the top of the bar, and Brady Ballou will be on for Joey Calistri.
Well, Calistri's worked really hard. Ala Rivas, who left the field a few minutes earlier, and the popular Brady Ballou will come on, and no doubt for 4 or 5 minutes scurry around the field, tackling anything.
In the 87th minute, soccer fans, Nike is the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. You can also stay up to date for the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. And don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. You can check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Well, Brady Ballou on the ball now, getting his first touch, pretty much said we're going to sit 5 in the midfield and just one cover up front. So it's very much a 4-5-1 for the Roughnecks now to try to see this game out.
Searching ball in the box, headed away. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders, coming to you live from Tulsa. Here's Ayala, center of the pitch.
Well, I talked about the conditioning, Pop, of the players. And, you know, Ayala was going forward there, and he had 3 or 4 options, and we're playing in the 88th minute. Here we go again.
It's Hayes. Hayes, one touch to the left. Fernandez off to shut down that ball from Hayes. And Fernandez got there before Hayes could even try to chip it with the left. Well done there from the keeper.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. Just a slightly last heavy touch from Hayes there. I mean, you can go through the whole team, and I'm not saying the Roughnecks are over the line by any stretch of the imagination yet, but, you know, Bourgeois and Jadoma have been outstanding tonight. Okay, there were a few chances in the first half, but I don't think they came down the middle. Maybe there was one header early on from Hoffman, but, you know, they've been pretty good in the center of the defense tonight.
You know where the Monarchs, to me, where they had their most success, obviously in the first half, were not balls that were long balls played into the box. They played a lot of long balls in the second half into the box, and it has not worked out to their advantage so far. In the corner of the 18, there to the left, that was a handball. The official there directly on top of it.
Referee's had a very good game in my mind tonight, Mr. Vega, and he's been right on top of the play, and he spots a handball in the 90th minute.
You want to take a guess on stoppage time?
You got your earpiece in again. You set me up here to fail.
I do have my earpiece in, so I already know. So I will find out. Let's find out how good Dave Saunders is.
I would say I want it to be a very low number tonight for obvious reasons. I'm going to say 3, my friend.
My friend, you are dead on the money.
I'm not often right, folks. If this is the first time you've heard a Tulsa Roughnecks broadcast. But if you're a Roughnecks fan, you don't want that number to be very high. Here it is, the board, 3 minutes.
As one of my co-hosts used to say on my radio show, if you shoot a gun in the air enough, eventually you'll hit a duck. My friend, I think you just winged one tonight.
First time ever.
Confidence-wise, heading into the black and gold derby next week, not too shabby when you can get a win over the team at the top of the table. Head down the turnpike for the first ever. Feels weird, doesn't it, to be into July and not have had the opportunity to face Oklahoma City yet, who's been playing better, by the way.
Yeah, it does feel weird, doesn't it? But it's something to look forward to, and we don't want to count our chickens, as we say, because there are still, you know, injury time being played, and if the Monarchs were to get one now, as they pump the ball into the box. But yeah, you're right, you know, July, what will it be, July the 8th, and they play in a week's time down the turnpike. And they will go there with confidence.
We'll encourage as many fans as possible to head down the turnpike to Taft for that first version of the black and gold derby this year.
Have the Roughnecks played on much turf this season? I'm just thinking that through, because of course Taft is turf, isn't it?
Yes.
Trying to quickly think now. I think Serta's going to get a yellow card, which he'll take, I guess, this time in the game.
By the way, this will be the first loss for the Real Monarchs SLC since April 15th.
Well done them on that record.
Quite frankly, after watching them play, I mean, you see why.
Oh yeah, they're a class act, Pop. They're going to be up there or thereabouts at the end of the season. And in some ways, I mean, if you're looking at crumbs of comfort, if you're a Monarchs fan, you know, sometimes the pressure can come off. There's going to be a yellow card here for Jamie Ayala. You know, the pressure comes off a little bit. You get that defeat, okay. Mr. Briggs will get them going again, you know, on Monday morning, and away they go again. So sometimes it takes the pressure off a little bit, because they've been on such a good run. They're a class act, and they'll always be welcome here in Tulsa.
USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by going to the website uslsoccer.com and also on Twitter at USL. Always impressed with the social media from the USL, whether that be on Instagram or Twitter.
And I know you've already alluded to earlier on about our wonderful cameramen. Can we just say again, fantastic from all our production team here. Guys and girls, you do such a fantastic job for us.
Low-driven corner. Here's Kaffa. Kaffa can track it down. He's going to be on a dead run. Monarchs players trying to cut down the angle on Akafa inside the box now. Akafa chipping over the top. Oh. Juan Pablo as he falls down on the pitch.
What an ending to the game that would have been if that had just drifted in. I mean, again, not everybody would have been able to do what he even did to get it anywhere near the frame there with a delightful chip.
Are you kidding me? He's going upper 90 to the far post on that run.
Referee takes a look at his watch and says that will do it for tonight, Pop.
Well, a great win for Tulsa here this evening as they knock off the team at the top of the table in the West. First loss, you see it there, since April 15th versus Colorado Springs, as the orange smoke from the roustabouts will fill this end of ONEOK Field. And there are several choices tonight when you look at who could potentially be man of the match. Mine starts at the top with Serta. I think from there you work your way down. You could make an argument for Fernandez. You could make an argument for Calistri. I think you could make an argument for Ja'Cory Hayes. But more importantly, just a well-rounded overall effort from everyone in orange tonight.
Here, Pop. Everybody, every single player to a man, even the subs that came on did their part. Very difficult to pick one out. I'm a great fan of his, and I just think for his work rate and covering every single blade of grass on the field, I would give it to Colin Fernandez. I think he's just been tremendous tonight. I think you're right with picking out Hayes. You know, Rivas, perhaps we didn't mention there. Everybody has worked really hard. Serta obviously kept us in the game, especially in the first half, and, you know, had to be on his medal in the second. But for me, it's Colin Fernandez.
Joaquin Rivas had his third goal of the season tonight. Ian Sventussen back in the scoring column as well with his sixth on the night. And now we get the chance to throw it down to Paige, who's standing by with a victorious Dave Vaudreuil, the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks. Paige?
Coach, congratulations on that big win tonight. Your team was able to come out here on the pitch and complete just a full 90 minutes of solid soccer. And on top of that, they took down the first place team in the West Division. How would you describe for this win for your team tonight?
Oh, very exciting and a big, huge win for us because, you know, with the Open Cup, you know, 2 really hard games and a good win against San Antonio and a tough loss against Dallas, but it really threw us off in the league. And, you know, we've had lost 5 out of the last 6, so a massive win for us tonight. You know, Fabian kept us in it. 4 clear shots from in close, and he made 4 great saves, and then we tightened up finally. And I think it was a well-deserved win, and you can see the potential that we have if we're committed to playing good defense. We know we have the horses and we know we have the skill to go forward and score goals, but you know, we have to keep throwing shutouts. If we keep getting shutouts, we're going to make the playoffs. If we give up 2 or 3 goals every game, we're not going to be anywhere near it.
And you mentioned Fabian Serta, and I know we talked about him at halftime, but my goodness, he was just phenomenal back there in the goal tonight, and he was able to earn a clean sheet against first place team Real Monarchs. How pleased are you with his effort tonight?
Yeah, he was awesome. We've seen it. We saw it in Dallas game. You know, Chicago brought him up with injuries. They took a good look at him. But, you know, everything. Good in the air, good on the distribution, quick off his line. So he's a full package. He gives us a lot of cover and a lot of dynamic play back there. It's fun to watch.
Thank you very much, Coach. Congrats again.
All right, thank you, Paige, for that. And Coach mentioning it, just how important that it was for Fabian Serta to have those 4 early saves, Dave, because those shots in the beginning moments of the first half, that really kind of tells the story of tonight, does it? Especially in the first half until Tulsa was able to finally break through, but it was Serta keeping Tulsa level with the Real Monarchs SLC here in the early going.
Yeah, it's like finishing a jigsaw, isn't it? You have this beautiful picture when you've finished, all the pieces are slotted into place, and it feels to me like that. And, you know, when you start that jigsaw, here's the, you know, first half highlights, and we're going to see what I was going to make the point. Serta is a very big piece in the jigsaw tonight.
This was the effort front post. I believe he was offsides in that position out for that play, but here's another great ball from the back from Rivas. It's cut down, and now this is when we will get to see where Serta was at the top of his game. How about that save?
Yeah, and that was the only chance, I think, that came down the middle, if I'm not mistaken. There's a Kafa, effort from his free kick. But again, the Roughnecks coming forward. This is a quality ball in from Kosuke, and there's the glancing header from Kafa. We don't normally see it doing with his head, and it nearly broke the deadlock there. And there's Kafa with a scuffed shot by his own standards. He was annoyed there, went and kicked the ball off camera.
Here's Ja'Cory Hayes with his first effort of the night on frame. Had another one a little bit later, and this is another big save. Just enough on it to touch that over the top of the bar from Serta.
Yeah, another good save. And then here's Hayes, as you say, this time on the right foot, and that wasn't too far away. Here it is again, the same shot. That was Calistri, I think, ending up the first half there with an effort that ends up in the crowd. Still, the Monarchs came forward. Another good save here from Serta with his feet. Well, no, just about got his body on that one.
He came down and cut down the angle. Kafa, curling ball, and over the top of the bar from Jadama. Now on to the second half, where there wasn't as much work from Fabian Serta. But Calistri there to Rivas.
Cool Calistri. Just perfect here. Look at how he waits here, looks up, there's a glance up, perfect ball, 6-yard line, and there was Rivas for his third of the season. And in the smoke here is Calistri just a few seconds later to Fernandez, outstretched foot, just bending it wide of the post. But the Roughnecks still carried on.
This is the one where Calistri almost, as the keeper had come out off of his line. Ja'Cory working tough here. Another great ball from Joey across the front of the goal. And watch this header from Sventusson.
So pleased for Ian Sventusson. What is he, about 10 yards out there? Perfect delivery in from Kafa. And we still weren't finished, because here was Hayes late on, driving a shot across goal wide. But we're pleased for Ian for that second, and that pretty much did it. There was one little scare there for Serta, but he then took his time. And what about this to end the game, Pop?
If this would have gone in,
well,
this crowd, you may have had to pull people off of the field if that had gone in. And that's full time. Roughnecks win 2-0. The first loss for the Monarchs since April 15th. And we also want to point out, this is the first clean sheet for Tulsa since May 13th, back here at ONEOK Field against Orange County. So a couple of good notes as we get set to wrap up shop tonight, and that's the most important thing right there. Bourgeois, Jadama, all of them signing the posters here tonight for the fans before the fireworks display gets underway here at ONEOK Field. I want to say thank you to not only Alan and Steve, and wish Steve the best of luck on his endeavors in Chicago. I'll be waiting for my Cubs tickets sometime during next baseball season. And to Alan, Hunter, and Greg, and everyone else inside the production crew, fantastic job as always. Roughnecks win. They now move to 18 total points on the season. And again, want to wish Stephen Whiting all the best in Chicago. I still want my Cubs tickets.
Me too. Put us down for 2, please.
A couple of final thoughts from you.
Tremendous. I think, going back to we went in at half-time, I said on commentary that was the best first half performance of late from the Roughnecks that I'd seen. They didn't let up there. They must have had a good, talk from the coach, who we know is a quality top coach, Dave Vaudreuil. They came out, got the all-important goal in the 47th minute. Sventusson with the second really put the game beyond the Monarchs, who never laid down, the pressure off them a little bit now. I think they'll come back. They're a class act. But I think the plaudits tonight go to the men in orange, the Tulsa Roughnecks, who've never let their heads go down. I don't want to be the person to pick the man of the match. There were so many of them. Well done, Roughnecks. Take your hats off and now get up for the important game next week down at Oklahoma City.
The Black and Gold Derby, and we'll be back here at ONEOK Field on the 22nd of July as we welcome in Phoenix Rising. For my partner, Dave Saunders, good job tonight, my friend. Final score for the final time. The Roughnecks win over the Real Monarchs SLC 2-0. For everyone here at ONEOK Field, I'm Jeremy Poplin saying have a safe night and a very safe and happy 4th of July. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from United Soccer League.